Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know we have Droll Lock Bird QCSR from the Rarity Collection 2. Everyone forgot about this card all of a sudden, about this specific rarity, the quarter century secret rare. The card was like 18. What was it? I mean, when we were first talking about it, let's go to the 6-month chart. We can see the card, it says 26s, but if you go to the yearly, the card at one point was in the low 20s, but here you can see $19.99, the low sale price point. And this card has been on an uptrend, guys, essentially, but now recently it's been falling like a rock, crashing, collapsing in price. If you go to the monthly, you can see the card has been going from 37 in the last month. In the past month, it says the 30s, but really, we're at 28 bucks, guys. 58 listings. You have a couple of one-ofs, and then playsets are at 31s. That's why you see that as the average current price on the chart. But when you extend to the 3-month, you see that the card was a 40 piece. And then when you go to the 6-month, you do see, kind of a double top formation, and then a triple top here, mini triple top formation, and then it's never looked back. And on the yearly, guys, I mean, this is beautiful. Charting just is beautiful, guys. I mean, you had a double bottom low, a booty shaped recovery, W-shaped recovery here, and then you started an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, right? And then you have this massive retracement back down to the mean, still with a healthy volume. What does that mean? You want to be buying these retracements. If you want Droll Lock Bird QCSR and you've been on the fence about it, it was a 40 piece, it was too expensive. Now at 28s, that's a $12 decrease in price a pop. So you're talking about what, 36 bones extra in your pocket, almost a 40 piece extra? It's like, getting an extra copy and some change, guys. Not bad at all. Man, this retracement has come down literally to this past pivot or swing high right here. I can literally draw this, man. R class with J right there. A resistance line, and we come all the way back down to confirm this level as support. You gotta love it, man. 58 listings, 28s right there, couple one-ofs, a playset, and then after that, is in the low 30s, right there, about a playset for a hundo. So hey, at 28s, not bad. If I would be wanting this card, Droll Lock Bird, the lower rarities are actually bumping up in price. Secrets, like we showed the other day, are pushing 4 to 5 bones, a card that was like $150, and then the lower rarities are moving up in price. The demand is there. So, this Droll Lock Bird, the QCSR, is just people taking profits that had it in the 20s. They saw it in the 40s. They're like, let me run for them hills, which was smart. But now, the smart play, the smart money would be buying these retracements back down to the mean. These flash crashes, man, sometimes they don't last that long, especially for a meta-relevant hand trap like Droll Lock Bird that locks down searching. Yes, there's decks that play around this, that, and the third, but you want to make sure that you get exposure to this card if this is the version that you want. We have Red Eyes Dark Dragoon QCSR. Again, another one that everyone else forgot about. Another card that came in the Rarity Collection 2, the Forgotten Rarity Collection, that this quarter century secret rare was first, I think, in the 20s, then in the 30s, and then it spiked up to 50s. We tracked this card all along as price moves. And look, on the yearly, card was 20 bucks. Literally, we talked about it, and then the card went up to 40s, retraced back down to 30s, low 30s. That's when we talked about it again. And then after that, it spiked up to 57 bones, guys. Massive spike here, parabolic spike, going into all-time high prices. And now it's having a considerable retracement, guys, from 57, 58s all the way down. It says 42s. We're at 38s, man. So this card is down about 20 bucks a pop. 40 listings here, guys. The same deal, same as Droll. They're acting the same way. You see here again. I just have to, man. I just have to. I need to. R class with J. Just like the chart with Droll, you can see here. Again, this says we're at 42s, but really, we're at 38s. We're like down here, guys. So again, if you draw a line, boom. Oh, man, it was perfect. It was perfect right until the end. Boom, right there. You can't make this stuff up, man. The chart is really down here. So again, you want to give yourself a shot. No one knows if it's going to keep crashing down, right? Or it might rebound back up, but bare bones minimum, you missed the highs, you didn't FOMO win up here. So what do? You buy this retracement back down to the mean, basically confirming this previous level that was resistance as support. Technical analysis wise, this is beautiful buy signal right now that no one's paying attention to. No one's looking at this right now. No one's looking at this chart, especially in that manner. 40 listings, 38 bucks right there. A couple ones and two ups, and the walls are at 42s, man. So again, there's walls of China, but they're at 42s, about $5 from these current levels. Save yourself $5 if you want this card in the short term, and save yourself an excess of double digits, because this card could easily become a 50 piece wings from Wingstop and above, 55, 60s and beyond if it really gets hyped. This is Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. People expect us to see play post Nats, post Justice Hunters, so that's why it went to 57. It's just off that hype, but early hype usually translates into a retracement back down to the mean as people take profits up here, and that's when you want to buy. You missed these lows down here, but you missed the high. You waited. Patience wins this game. You wait for the chart to talk to you, and it's talking right now. It's saying that you buy this card, the quarter century secret rare form. It already has a starlight. You don't need to worry about a starlight reprint. So at 38 bones, not bad at all. And then you do have the platinum secret rare, same deal. Card went up to 14 15s, and now it's retracing back down to the mean, and now it's just consolidating. It says 1150s, but really we're at 890s. So 45 listings. You have a couple of one-ofs all the way back up to double digits, guys. So if you need this card at sub 10 bones and you like the platinum secret, this is the version you want. Again, same deal. If you want this version, I'd be picking it up right now at sub $10, because I wouldn't want this card to find a low, consolidate, and then come back up to the previous highs. Nah, man. I would buy now. I wouldn't wait. Not on this one. The retracement seems to be done here. You take advantage of card prices like these, and then all the other versions like PCRs and PURs, they've actually maintained price around $4 to $5. So that's a sign that these eventually should be, the higher ends should be going back up as well. Guys, first link in the description down below. Fast track these cards if you need to purchase any of these cards that are crashing before they eventually spike back up again. You want to do so from here. You can see the chart. Most of the cards we're talking about today are just flash crashing suddenly very, very hard here in price. So you want to track these, and if you want to buy these at your convenience, one click gets you to the card. Don't forget, guys, first link, well, not first link, but link in the description down below. You want to make sure you participate in our free chibi art giveaway. Shout out to Andrew for hosting this giveaway, guys. So again, most likely next week we will be selecting a winner, so you don't want to miss out. You want to take advantage of this one winner for all of these chibi arts. You want that to be you. All you have to do is get exposure to the giveaway. Come over here, make sure you follow, you like, retweet, and comment down below on which one of these is your favorite, so you can get free participation for next week's winner. Don't miss out. And then shout out to I Might Name This Later. Just a day left, guys. Essentially, this is it, man. You want to take advantage of this giveaway, free participation over here in the Discord. We will be selecting a winner tomorrow, guys, in tomorrow's live stream, essentially. So you do not want to miss out. You don't want to miss out, man. Right there, free participation in the Discord. And lastly, guys, if you're here, make sure you double check, make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video, as it really does help out the channel. We have IP Mascarena, alternate art, QCSR. This rarity collection 2, another one. Another rarity collection 2 card. It's crazy because it's not like we're talking about rarity collection 2 right now in the sense like the entire market watch, but the first 3 cards that we've been talking about today are all from the same rarity collection. Cards that had spikes, that were worth higher, that had higher price valuations, and now they're retracing back down to the mean. So what do? Hey, if you need this card, you pick it up, man. IP Mascarena QCSR from rarity collection 2 was recently 38 bones, and the card has flash crashed down. It says to 30s, but really you have one here $15 less in price. Wow, what a flash crash. Of course, that's just a one of. Quickly goes to 27s with the 2 ofs right there, and eventually it quickly goes back up to 30s. 38 listings. So this is literally just like a deal, a flash deal that just popped up here, guys. But even at around 27, anything under 30s is not bad for this card, especially with volume coming in here, and the new Gorgon card coming out, so people need their IPs. So hey, card was down here in the high 20s, went up about $10 a pop, and now crashed back down about $10 a pop. So you buy this retracement, guys, right here for IP Don't forget, it did get the full rarity treatment, but if you want the quarter century, the alternate art right there, it's not bad at all. Let me just click this here. Where is it? Rarity collection. So yeah, I mean, you have clean secrets at around $1, not bad. Platinum secrets are around 6s. PCRs are under 3s. That is not bad. And then PURs around 250. So not bad. It's IP. You know, it cycles in and out of meta formats. So again, next time it cycles in, these cards could definitely be worth more money. So you definitely want to keep this one in mind. Now, when you have Fiend Smith's track, again, you know, this card, if you go here to the sales, you see there's been sales in the 30s now, guys, in the high 30s for the secret rare that used to be 76, 77s. And at one point had some sales in the triple digit mark. All it's been doing for the last 3 months is crashing down in price. People don't realize. People are like, oh, it's still 40 bucks. It's still value. I mean, I need my track. I'm still playing Fiend Smith with X deck and Y deck and this and that and the third. Guys, this is from the Infinite Forbidden. It has reprint fears attached to it. Possible banlist implications, even though I think Fiend Smith can be more power crept, honestly, by future decks rather than receiving hits here in the TCG. We'll see how it pans out. But regardless, this card is you know, still around a 40 piece. You know, still around a 40 piece. But cards like these, and we're going to show more examples later in this market watch, which let me just see if I can find it here real quick. So one example, you know, is, for example, we're going to talk more in depth about it later, but is Maliss P White Rabbit being like under $5? Again, we're going to touch base in just a bit. This card was money, man. This card was always 25, 30s, 20s, 25, 30. You know, money, man. You needed 3 of these, you need to pay the $100. And now you wake up one day and the card is sub $5 and it's just free 99, like super cheap, right? So Maliss, yes, is still competing, heading into the biggest event of the year, still a great contender, but everyone moved on from the people that still play Maliss are people that really, really love the deck and they're hardcore Maliss players, and or they just want to represent at big events because they know the deck usually has great representation. But it's not like the masses, like everyone, oh my god, we all have to play Maliss, is the best deck, and you know, and this and that and the third. No, right? So you see those prices crashing down. Fiend Smith is different, is an engine that you can fit in many other different decks. So I understand. But at the end of the day, you know, value dissipates, value dwindles, especially with potential reprints around the corner. $40 cards today could become $5 or sub $5 cards tomorrow. You don't want that to be you. That's all I'm saying. That does not mean that this card in the next week or two can't go back up to 45s or 50s, 55s. Anything is possible. Anything is possible with a card like this. And of course, no one never knows if it does get a reprint. We're speculating here, guys, and assuming that this card came out about a year ago, you know, and it's due time to get a reprint in this year's tins. So don't let 40s become teens or single digits or $5. That's all I'm saying. Card is great and all, but you know, a lot of new decks are coming out. People are gonna be playing. Of course, they could splash this in maybe with one of the new decks, things of that nature. But you get what I mean. People are moving on to Dragon Tears, to Vanquish Soul, to K9, you know, to Yummies pretty soon. No one's thinking about Fiend Smith. Sure, can they splash it in maybe one of the, who knows, right? But reprint fears, that's the thing. You don't want to be caught holding that bag. And on that same note, Lacrima, the Crimson Tears, was 37.38s, and now, you know, a mini crash for this one, down to 34s. It quickly does go back up to 40s, guys. So there is still, you know, hype going on to with Fiend Smith, especially, you know, heading into the biggest event of the year. But you have one at 33s, then it goes to 36s. There's been, you know, deals here, people buying these in the mid 30s, guys. So I mean, this card had a high of 50s, came down all the way to 32s, went up to 38s, and now it's just hovering here, consolidating. If you see this card below 32.20s with like walls, run for them hills, because the card is game over. In the meantime, I would still be moving this. You want to move these cards when they have value, when people need them, when there's still demand. Rage of the Abyss, another contender for 10 reprints, guys. So you don't want to be caught holding these bags. And again, look at that, 3 months just going down in price, man. From almost 80 bucks, it's almost down to 50%, 50% down in 3 months. So again, the trend is your friend until the end. You could have little rebounds here and there, but in the big picture, these cards continue to crash down in price. I would be moving them right now. The Black Goat laughs, guys. This card recently was 38s pushing 40s. Literally, you have a double top formation right there. Card has never looked back. You know, it was 38 pushing 40s, and now it's 26s, guys. So card has been crashing down hard. It came in Phantom. Which one was it again? Phantom Nightmare. Crazy. This secret rare has been so volatile in the last year, in the sense of, look, the trend is your friend until the end. You know, it's been making higher highs and higher lows. And right now, the next pivot low is actually where we're at right now, around 24, 25 bucks, 26s. So guys, this is the time of the truth for this card. You know, yeah, I mean, this card was in an uptrend since October. That is wild, guys. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Art Class with Jay. This card has been in an uptrend since October, right there. Look at that. Oh my Lord. Jeez, man. Let me see. Yeah. Work with your boy, right? In an uptrend, right? And we just broke this uptrend. No one's paying attention to this, guys. Let's be honest. So now once we break the trend, you want at least a two-factor play. You know, the first part of the play is the break of the trend. The second one is the break of the previous pivot low or swing low right here, guys. And we're approaching it right now. So if we don't get like some type of, look, if we get a rebound for this card, it might come back here and maybe double top, touch the trend line on the bottom part before eventually crashing down and having, you know, a double top formation, have the market smile at you. Or what we could do is that this can crash down. If you see this card with the walls below 25s, run for them hills, man. You know, the card had its life cycle, probably gets reprinted in this year's tins. You know, so I'd be getting rid of it regardless. Not because the card is not good, not because the card is not needed. You guys need to understand, not just because of the chart patterns screaming, like just potentially get rid of this card soon. It's just, we're heading into reprint season. And the tins reprints dozens and dozens and dozens of cards from previous core sets. Just, it destroys value. You know, people take it for granted. And yes, we've been having rarity collections, but before, the tins were the end all be all. It was like the main reprint set of the year. Now you have rarity collections in between, probably getting rarity collection 5. You know, eventually later this year. So with all these reprints, you know, and reprint season just around the corner, post Nats heading into the new, I think it was what, early September? That'll come fast. So you don't want to be caught holding these bags, man. Especially if you have a place that's $75 of purchasing power right now that you have in your hands. You know that if this card gets reprinted, it could easily be single digits or maybe even sub 5s, guys, and become the next trap, the next rollback, the next, you know, trap trick, the next Black Goat laughs, where these traps, they had their core set secrets, they got reprinted. I'm sorry, they got printed, they were value, and now today, they're worthless. No one cares about those cards because they got reprinted into the ground. So don't let this be the next one. If I'd have this card, I'd be recycling that purchasing power heading into the upcoming reprint season. We have Brilliant Fusion, guys. Hey, Gem Knights are making moves. There's a quarter century secret rare, I understand. But this ultimate rare, for the last 3 months, has been crashing from 45s all the way down to current prices at 18, 19 bucks, 34 listings. Any of these under 20s or around 20s are great long-term deals. This ultimate rare looks beautiful. Gem Knights are actually topping like region locals and even at the regional level, and we're curving into consolidation. That's what you want to see, guys. Just beautiful. You had the flash crash, the falling knife mode, you know, and now you're curving into consolidation right here. If you want or need this card at 20 bucks post tax, not bad, guys, not bad. A $20 bill. Hopefully it stays like this. And if I'm in Nats, I want to just give a vendor 20 bucks. Let me get that Brilliant Fusion because the card brilliantly looks beautiful, marvelous. And Gem Knights are actually making moves, making waves. And you never know if, you know, the ban list bumps this up to 2. You never know. You never know what could happen. And this card could become straight money. And it's an OTS Tournament Pack 6 Ultimate Rare that used to be 45 50s being banned, I think. It's crazy. Like, no one used this card. No one cared. It was a 50 piece. Just hard to get. Quarter century came in. All those people that had the OTs, they sold this one to get the QCSRs. Wrong decision, in my opinion. But You know, now at a 20 piece McNuggies from Mickey D's. Great pickup after this card has crashed down over 50%. Then we have Kashtira Unicorn, Kashtira Fenrir, and Kashtira Rise Heart. So again, these Kashtira cards all in tandem are crashing down in price. I mean, Rise Heart came in the latest tins, 2024, and then in 2023, the Fenrir and Unicorn. So Unicorn is 685. That's crazy. If you need the card, if you're playing a mini Kashtira engine, like no better time to get exposure in the sense of playability in the very short term. But I think this card is due for a reprint somewhere, somehow, man. I don't know where, and that's a great question. Jay, where could they rarity 5 maybe? Maybe another 10 reprint, but like as an alternative rarity in the sense of like ultra rare. Anything is possible. So unless you're playing this, I would wait for the tins regardless, just in case they decide to like include these in there. But yeah, if you need them to play, $7, not bad at all. We're currently here on the yearly. Wow, look at all the volatility, man, of this card. When it misses reprints, products like Stampede, or miss the ban list, or miss this or miss that, is crazy. Just stair stepping. This card has been super volatile. Now we're back down to the lows here of around 7s. Might go down to 5. So, you know, continues crashing down in price. Fenrir continues to hold, you know, attempting to hold the $10 mark, but we're at sub 10 bones here at single digits. Card recently was 1845s. Now it's down 50% here, as you can see. And just waiting. The waiting game, 84 listings. People that want it have it. People just waiting like, yo, when we getting this reprinted? You know, like, is it gonna get hit? Nah, I think Fenrir is over the point where like it gets hit on the list. You know, it was back then. The card is still very, very good. It's crazy how cards get power crept in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like it's year after year after year. Cards that were broken, meta relevant, everyone was playing them. They're still just as good effect wise, but they just get power crept. So it's pretty interesting how that works. This card is barely holding on to 10s. We'll see if it continues crashing down to lower prices other than this 50% dump. And then Rise Heart here, you know, the card recently was $11. Flash crashing down 50%. Wow, to $5, 57 listings. So yeah, man, you have a wall of China here at 518s. So if you need this card, you know, you go to the yearly, you see the card has been in an uptrend, but now, wow, it had a flash crash below the previous swing low right here. Usually that's not a good sign. So again, and volume is dwindling, man. No one's buying this card. Wow, that's crazy to me. But again, if you want this card, if you need this card, if you want to play pure Kashtira, you know, at $5 is not bad, especially for a card that recently was double digits. If I would want this card, I would take advantage of this flash crash effect Veiler secret rare. You know, this card recently was a 15 piece. Card is down 50%, guys. We're literally going through this market watch talking about cards that are down like essentially anywhere from 40, mainly 50% down. Half off price. So you see this clean effect Veiler, the clean secret rare from Rarity Collection Uno, mind you, years ago, came out 2 years ago. So you want to make sure that if you want the secret rare, you take advantage of it at $8. You come in at $8, 49 listings. You know, the card is down almost 50%, 40, 50%. You know, volume is coming in at the lows. So smart money. If you want the secret rare, don't take it for granted. It is secret rare Veiler. The card always cycles in and out of meta formats. And this secret rare just looks clean. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you want to take advantage of it. You don't want to be that guy, you know, that comes back at double digits or back up at 15s when you had the opportunity to come and take advantage of this flash crash, 40, 50% dump right there. Don't miss out. Then we have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, another hand trap. This is just the 2022 prismatic secret. There's people out there that they love their prismatics, man. Prismatic secrets. I really love the rarity as well. And, you know, maybe they want to match their prismatic secret rares. And this is the OG art. So again, card used to be, you know, recently 670 pushing 7s. And now it's flash crashing to 4s, man. So if you need, you know, if you want these copies of Ash, yeah, you have a play set and then an R07. But then it quickly goes back up to 5s. So, you know, and beyond. Not bad. $4 for a prismatic secret Ash. You know that if you go to the yearly, this card used to be, you know, $10. left and right, and now it's down over 50%. You come in, man. It's a staple. Yeah, there's a bunch of versions and the alternate arts and all that, but these prismatic secret rares look beautiful. You definitely don't want to miss out. We have transaction rollback, which we mentioned earlier as one of those traps that used to be money, like 25s, 30s. Remember, guys? The ultras was always between 20 and 30 bucks, man, for a long time. When Labyrinth was around and this and that. And now the card is $5, $6. Like recently it was 8s, and before that it was 12s. And now it's just 582s, man. So anything around 6, not bad. If you need the card as a quarter century secret rare, 70 listings. We're at all-time lows, guys. You know, not just in price, but in volume as well, essentially. So yeah, if you need this card at $6, not bad. Maybe you want to wait for 5s, maybe sub $5. But if you like really need it, you really like this card, you want exposure to it, you come in here right under a 20-piece McNuggies for a playset. Not bad for quarter century secret rare transaction rollback from Stampede. No one's looking at this card, and this card is just one you know, deck away from becoming meta, in the sense like Labyrinth get new support or a new trap deck comes out, and then all of a sudden everyone needs this card, and this card would become money. So not bad to add this to you know, your quarter century secret rare investment pile or binder or things of that nature. Then we have White Forest, man. LZ of the White Forest continues to crash down and make new local lows. We have LZ Azamina of the White Forest as well. So White Forest is just crashing down because it never truly panned out. It's crazy. It got the new support. Alliance Insight came out. Oh, Azamina White Forest never panned out. It's still to the, and now it's not looking even like more likely. Why? Because unless Azamina gets support in future core sets, because you're just getting the Vanquish Souls and the Canines and the Yummies and, you know, and the Draco Tails and this and that and the third, and then where's this deck and all that? Nowhere to be found. This card continues to flash crash into the teens, guys. 62 listings. You know, recently when we were at $30, man, we were saying, guys, you know, the card hit 40s, we're at 30s right now, I'd be selling. High 20s, around 30s, and now the card is down over $10 right there, just pretty quickly, man. In less than a month, it fell down to the teens, and still, even at a 20 piece, I'd move it. I'd recycle my purchasing power, I'd cut my losses, I'd take this $60 for a playset and put it into something else, man. New Battles of Legend cards, you know, Duelist Advance, whatever you need. The secret rare, I think it had its heyday. It had its life cycle, especially the potential reprint. Just, you know, around the corner. It came in the Infinite Forbidden. And, you know, Azamina of the White Forest came in Suda, so we don't expect a reprint soon. But the card was 12s, you know, and now it crashed down to 6s, down 50%. And now it's down another 50% to $3.50. Crazy to see these flash crashes happening. All-time lows for this card at around 4s. You know, if you need it, I guess it's cheap, but eesh, man, these cards are crashing hard and fast, man, like a rock. It's crazy. So here we have Maxx C, QCSR. This Stampede quarter century secret rare was recently $45. And now it's around $42. I mean, there's a couple 1s and 2s. Then it does go back up, you know, to the mid 40s. So 51 listings. So again, I mean, there's people that have been picking this card up closer to 40s probably, especially in person. Not bad. I mean, again, like we always talk about this card. You know, it's a card used in multiple Time Wizard formats. It's a card, again, used in multiple past formats. So that demand is, that boomer demand is going to be there. Maxx C is an iconic card. And yes, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, we hate the card. We don't want it ever to come back. Okay, but it actually has playabilities for boomers. And those boomers, they don't care about modern. You know, they just want access to their card in quarter century secret rare form. And at around 40s, again, guys, if you want this card, not bad. We said it was good at 50s, and we said anything sub 50s is good. So 40s is even better. You know, the Platinum Secret hit like 4s, and then it bumped right back up close to 5, 6s because that demand came in. I believe this card eventually in the future, it just came out essentially, even though it's been what, like almost 2 months or whatever, time is flying by. But these Stampede cards still feel the sell pressure. Eventually I see this card becoming money, you know, at new local lows right here. Excuse me. All-time lows, meant to say. So you take advantage of that. Sure, could it go down into the high 30s? Anything is possible. But this is Maxx C. and it's a card that is starting to curve into consolidation. I'd be a buyer at 40s, even at 50s. It's just between 50s and 40s, you know, again, accumulation. Maybe you bought one, now you bought your second copy at 40s, or maybe you bought a playset at 50s, and now you want exposure, maybe get an extra copy at 40s just to invest into. And, you know, that's the mindset that you have to have with cards like these. You have Pot of Extravagance, the alternate art. This card was 15 bucks, went all the way up to 27s, 30s, you know, essentially 100% increase 2x, and now crashing all the way back down. It says to 18s, but really, you know, we're shipping, we're around 16s, 17s, you know, right here. Quickly goes to 19s, where you see the first place at 20 bucks, 48 listings. So yeah, I mean, there's not much volume here, but at the same time, if this is a card that you want, this specific rarity, this specific version of Pot of Extravagance, you know, and you need it, it was 27 30s, excuse me, now it's 17s. So, you know, it's down about 10 bucks. I'd be buying it. If I would have won it, you missed the highs, thankfully. You know, you also missed the lows, but it's not that far off the previous lows. So, you know, not bad, guys. You know, it went spiked up, now crashed back down. You take advantage of this flash crash here into consolidation, and you get exposure. You know, if you can get a 50 piece for a playset, alternate art, QCSR, not bad. All the pots, you know, they've been good, you know, like the dualities and extravagances and prosperities and desires, like they all cycle in and out of different meta formats, but this is an alternate art. We're not getting more quarter centuries, man. You know, so this is an alternate art. Not bad. Just came out in Stampede. The art is fire as well. Definitely make your considerations. Totally awesome, man. Every time I come and see this card at 10 bucks, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense in the sense that see no play right now. Sure. But this card always cycles in and out of the meta. And the next time this card cycles into the meta, it could easily be a 40 to 50 piece. We saw it time and time again with the OG secrets. And now you have a quarter century secret rare, max rarity, you know, at 10 bones. Not bad, man. Card was 20s. Flash crashing the 50% down, and right now it's a 10 piece, 58 listings. So again, the Toad, man, if you have a spare 10 bones or you see this in a trade binder, not bad. Again, it's a mid to long term play. It's not like, oh, next week is gonna be 20 bucks. That's not the whole point. It's one that you pick up, came in bonanza. It'll get harder and harder to get, and whenever it does cycle back into the meta, you know, this card at least easy 2x back up to the previous $20 highs right here. So this is easy future money. You'll just have to be patient. As we always say, patience wins this game. So at 10 bones, not bad to get access to this quarter century secret rare. The Dark Magicians, guys. This card recently was a 15 piece and now flash crashing to single digits. Wow. 65 listings right here. A couple ones and two ofs. And then at the bottom of the page, the card does start going back up, you know, towards 10 bones. No better time. I mean, you want to buy the lows. You know, right here, look at that, all-time lows in price. The Dark Magicians, iconic Yu-Gi-Oh card, iconic art. You know, I don't think there's many cards where DM and DMG are in the same card. This is a fusion card. Not bad, man. I'm telling you, 950s. I feel like we're gonna get DM support at one point. You know, Blue Eyes came first, then this goes next, and if that's the case, you know, 950s, $10 QCSRs could easily 2x and beyond. The Dark Magicians quarter century secret rare, not bad, man. At single digits, not bad at all. Then we have Eldlich, the Golden Lord. We just talked about the Pot of Extravagance alternate art, that it, you know, has the art, the Eldlich art essentially. And this card used to be a 15 piece. Excuse me, guys, a 15 piece. And now the card is down 3x. Wild. And then we had a massive volume candle. I don't know why. The largest volume candle in the last 90 days. I guess it was just too cheap down here, but the card, you know, you have one at sub 5s, and then after that it quickly does go up to 650s, eventually 7s at the bottom of the page with a couple ones and two ofs, but 34 listings. So not crazy listings, but yeah, the card flash crash, falling knife mode, back down, all the way back down to 5 bones. Crazy. You know how things get hyped. Look, if you go to the yearly, you can see, wow, card was $5, had a, you know, some type of a double top here, and then it crashed all the way back down to the scene of the crime. Wow, crazy, guys. to see this pan out. Look at that. People buying this at sub $5 left and right. Wild. Wild to see how things get hyped and then crash back down. All that money either left on the table or people came in and they bought at the highs, the FOMO, the high. Oh my God, Eldlich meta again, the next best thing. You know, and now rough, you know, and then the alternate R is the one that I would have preferred anyways, but some people, they like their OG arts, man. We have Hida, the Fire Charmer Ablaze. This card recently was in 1150s, 1250s, but between 11 and 12 bucks, and it's just crashed down to 850s, and here we are at around 8-9 bucks, 52 listings. So if you need this card, single digis, not bad, man. It's a Charmer, quarter century secret rare. I see it becoming double digis later on in the future. You don't want to miss out. Card, you know, $9 essentially. Not bad, not bad. If you want this card at single digits, this is what you want to buy. You want to buy the all-time lows, the lack of interest, man. No one cares about this card right now. No one's looking at it, and we're little by little starting to curve into some type of consolidation. If I would want this card, let's say I want just your one of, you want it for your extra deck, I'd be coming in right now. Like, there's no excuse. And even if you want exposure as an investment, you know, single digits, good. Anything at single digits, you good for Hida, the Fire Charmer Ablaze QCSR. We have Decode Talker, Heat Soul. This QCSR, look at that, was 18 bones pushing 20s, and now is wild. This says it went down, you know, about what? 3x from 18 to 6s, but really 358s, man. That's just a one of, you know, it's in the 4s. So around $4 to $5, but still almost down to 4x in price, man. That's insane. What hype again, like we're discussing here today, is a Rarity Collection 1 QCSR, and hype pushes these cards prices up. People go crazy, they overspend, they don't realize it, and then one day we come back, we revisit these prices, and these cards have crashed down into oblivion. It's just crazy to see it happen time and time again with so many card examples, guys. 44 listings. That's why we always say on the channel, you know, profits, man. Like profit, you got to take profits. If you had this card at around $5, and you know, you see the spiked 20s, you got it. And even if it's at 10 or at 15s, whatever, wherever you sell, just is much better than watching it come all the way back down to 5s and below. Yeah, it's crazy to see this card this low again, man. Wow. Then we have Silent Mining, another Cybers card just 3 months ago was a 20 piece. This card 3 months ago was a 20 piece McNuggies, bro. 20 piece from Mickey D's, and now it's $5. Shh. 55 listings, yeah, $6, closer to $6. You do have just two right here, 588s. Then it goes to 7s, you know, and then at the bottom of the page it goes to 9s. That's almost double digits, right? But regardless, there's been people buying this card. Look at that, around these prices, man, under 6s, 55 listings. So again, wow, at all-time lows for this card. Insane. What can I say? If you need the card at 588s, that is not bad. I mean, you know, 5s would be ideally, maybe sub 5s, but if you just you didn't buy these tops here at around a 20 piece, you waited, and this card is at all-time lows. If you need it, I'd get those right there. 589s right there, 588s. Not bad for Silent Mining, even though, you know, there's no more like it's falling out of favor, like Cybers wise, like people are moving on to different decks, different things, but Cybers always gets support in the future, and the next time it does, this card will become money. We have number 39 Utopia Ultimate Rare, around 12-13 bucks. It was a 20 piece. So if you want this one, you know, it quickly goes back up to 15s at the bottom of the page. There's one-ofs all the way to that playset at around 15 bucks post-tax. 26 listings here. You know, you see a couple of volume candles coming in, nothing too crazy, but if this is the version that you want, you know, not bad to take advantage of that retracement back down to the mean. Guys, link in the description down below. Come over here, join our Discord, and join our X for our channel giveaways. Get 15 free dollars to buy any of these cards that are crashing. You'll probably find them over there and whatnot. Get free 15 bucks to spend at your convenience, guys. And none of this content is official financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. So if you're entertained, guys, and you respect what we do here, make sure you you know, ring that bell, subscribe, like the video on the way in. I would gladly appreciate that. We have MST, Mystical Space Typhoon. you know, the new deck got announced, people went crazy. Oh my God, man, MSTs, you know, and I love it. And the new monsters, and we're, you know, it's gonna take over the meta. This card went crazy. It was 13 bucks, spiked up, it says, to 37s, but we had some sales at 50 piece. Let's just say 40s, you know, it makes it better. So it went up from 13 to 40s, you know, essentially a 3x, and now flash crashing back down, all the way down into the teens, man. Wow, look at that, people buying this at 17s right there, 18s. So again, 52 listings, anything under 20s is good for this card. Not necessarily because, oh my God, the MST deck is going to be amazing and it's going to take over the meta. Who cares? Who knows? It's not even about that. Is that once we start getting closer to those moments and those times when the cards actually come out, there'll be speculation and hype, and that alone can re-spike this card from a 20 piece to a 40 piece. So, you know, 2x play is live. You might have to wait a couple months. Patience wins this game, but this is a quarter century secret rare MSTs. Yes, there's other rarities. There's plenty of options, you know, with the OTs and the ghost rares, and so we understand. But this Rarity Collection 2 card, quarter century secret rare, it'll just get harder and harder to get at around 17, 18 bucks. Not bad. If you missed out this spike, you know, you're just paying a $5 premium compared to the lows of 13s, but you definitely didn't pay a 2x premium by coming in near the highs. So great time to get exposure to this card after it flash crashed. Then we have Ultimate Slayer. Wow, this card is 15, 16s. Recently, the card was a 30 piece, man. So this card is crashing down about 50%, 67 listings. And it's because it's falling out of favor in the meta, essentially. And pretty soon the meta is going to shift. The card is still broken. The card is still good. Don't sleep on Ultimate Slayer. From Rarity Collection 2 is crazy. Today we're talking about a lot of Rarity Collection 2, and it's been random. It wasn't like I purposefully, you know, tried to do so. But yeah, Rarity 2, man, it's crashing down, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy, you know, to see this 50% dump on this card that was everywhere. Everyone needed this card not too long ago. You have lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. This quarter century secret rare was 38 bucks. It was 38 bucks, man. We were like, how? Labyrinth players, you know, look, card was 14, 15s. Wow. Spiked up over 2x thanks to Labyrinth players' initial rush. And ever since, it's never looked back. It's just been crashing down like a rock. It's just $21. But we're at 19s. I mean, that's a one-of, quickly goes back up there. So it's about a 20 piece McNuggies, 60 listings. So if there was ever a time you're buying clothes down to a 2x, I'm sorry, down 50%. 40, 50%, not bad. If you're a Labyrinth player, you were on the sidelines, you want this card for 20 bucks from Stampede, not bad at all. We have Regenesis, finally, in a way. The first cracks are starting to be found for this card that wanted to hold $15 strong. They didn't want to give that $15 price up, but finally started to see the cracks here, going from 15s, crashing down to all-time lows. It says 12.95s. And here we are, man. We have a couple one-ofs though only, so nothing too crazy. No major walls as of yet, but usually these are the signs that people are willing to sell lower. 63 listings from Alliance Insight. So Regenesis, finally you're starting to see that sell pressure of a deck core that I want to pick. I ain't picking it. I need to see this $5 max. Sub $5, then we go in. If not, we just let it be, you know? And another example that we're gonna, not to say that this deck has to be necessarily, you know, that Regenesis has to be necessarily like this deck, but we're gonna touch base on, you know, Treasures of the Kings from Maze of the Master and the Odeon deck, how it's crashed down like crazy, guys. So not to say that Regenesis has to be like that deck, but that's my mindset. Instead of overpaying, you know, you wait a couple months. People forget about this. People move on to the new shiny things like Draco Tales and K9 and Banquet. They forget about Regenesis. Of course, you never know if this could work with any of those decks per se, right? Included as an engine. You know, some people were also talking about Regenesis Morganite. I'm like, what? That's crazy. So again, yeah, 12 50s, single digits. That's what we need to see. We'll see if we get it, but we're starting to see the card crash down finally. About time. And then you have Regenesis Archfiend also at all-time lows here at around 750s. You know, come on, man. We need to see $5 and below. Cheap, $2 to $3 for this one, so we can come in $10 a playset and get exposure instead of paying what? People were paying 15, 20 bucks for this. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But yeah, these cards continue to make all-time lows. We have Speedroid Terratop, QCSR. Card was 4, pushing 5s, crash all the way down. Insane, all the way down. Look at that, a 6-month low right here. And yeah, I mean, even about to, it broke the swing low right here at 256s. But yeah, the walls are around 239, 240s. So yeah, 100 listings, you know, card has fallen out of favor again. So if you see these, if you go to Nats, if you see this in a binder, or if you need exposure to this card, not bad at around $2 right there. Volume is coming in because the price is just too low for this 10 reprint. You know, around 2 bones, 250, even 250s. Nothing crazy, not too bad for Terratop. That, you know, could cycle into the meta, back into the meta at any moment. We have Tenpai Dragon Pydra. This card recently was 13s. You know, it had a triple top formation and now crashing back down to 6/7s. And here we are at around $6. Unless you needed to play, you're going to Nats or something like that. You know, I think this card's life cycle is over. You know, in the sense of not just utility wise, but reprint wise from Legacy of Destruction. This damn super rare. It's time it gets reprinted, man. It's crazy how this card skipped so many reprints, but it's time finally to have cheap Tenpai Dragons come in this year's tins. That's what we expect. Yeah, Maliss P March here. This card is 18. Crazy. Crack the teens into the teens. Just keeps every week we talk about this card, and it keeps making all-time lows after all-time lows after all-time lows. In the last 3 months, you need to understand there was people that paid $90 for this card, and the card is 18. It's probably hitting 15 soon. Over 100 listings. It's just crashing down. Wow, crazy, crazy, crazy to see just so much purchasing power vanishing from this card. And even so, me, if I'd have this card, yo, 50-piece wings. Let me get that 50-piece for this play set. Let me get that 50-55s and recycle that into Stampede, into Battles of Legend, into Duelist Advance, or getting ready for Justice Hunters. Because you don't want to see this card hit 15s and eventually become single digits, just like, you know, Maliss P White Rabbit did, as you can see here. I mean, the card just making all-time lows. Look at that. Well, Walls of China, man. Wow. 156 listings. Yikes, man. Who's buying this card? Excuse me, guys. That's the real question. Who's buying this card? I mean, I guess people like, yo, Jay, I'm playing Maliss on a budget now because it's cheap. Maybe, you know? Definitely way cheaper than it used to be 2 to 3 months ago. Just insane, guys. That's crazy. I mean, this April, guys, just 2.5 months ago, like, this card was, that's great, $25, down 5x. Let's see, April, May, June. Yeah, it's like two months and a week or 2.5 months, let's say. The card is down 5x. See, things in Yu-Gi-Oh, they change quickly, man. 2-3 months go by, everything's different. Same now. 2 to 3 months from now, everything is gonna be different, man. All these cards that we're using, that they're relevant, that this and a ban list come, wipes out a couple decks, you know, reprints come out, and then there's a new meta, man. So crazy. Same as Malice and Underground. Card, new all-time low, says $4. We're at 3s, man. We're at 3s. Just wild. 159 listings, same as its counterpart, White Rabbit, that came from Crossover Breakers. These cards haven't gotten reprinted yet, and they're this low in price. Crazy, man. Wow, $3 for Malice and Underground. 3 months ago, this card was a 20-piece. McNuggies. Man, this thing is down 6x, man. Wow. How the mighty have fallen. We have Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill from Eternity Code. First that OG is at all-time lows now. All-time yearly lows right here. Card used to be 15s, went down to 7s, went back up to 12s, and now crashing back down. Wow, it says the 4s. And there's been people coming in. You see those volume candles, people taking advantage. Look at that. This card was 350s. Where was I? I didn't know. 37 listings. Card is now 550s. But yeah, anything around $5 should age very, very well for the first Ed OG Eternity Code secret rare print of Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. I understand. Card is not used. So many other better hand traps, but it is a Ghost Girl. And also, you never know if and when this card cycles back into the meta. And if it does, the card is very, very good, man. So, you know, 550s, $5 around there. If you could pick up the first set OGs, not bad at all. Definitely one to keep on your radar. We have Ojama Trio, Starlight Rare. Love to see this card crashing down to 17s. You know, recently the card was in the 30s. 17 Billy Bobs came in at 35s. 9 more at 30s. 9 more at 25s. 7 more at 20s. And the card is 17s, guys. You can see literally all these volume candles. People are buying the falling knife. People are buying their way down because they don't have patience. These Billy Bobs don't have patience. I want this card. Literally. It's rare that I want cards. But I want it. I just want to have a play set. But I ain't paying double digits for this. You know, if it never goes down to 9, 8s, then, you know, let it be. I want it, but not that bad. Definitely not bad enough to pay 40s and 30s and 20s. Man, patience wins this game. Crazy. Card just came out. Like, it's not like meta relevant. Like, what's the rush to pick it up so soon? Look at that. 6 Billy Bobs paid a 50 piece. Mug Nuggies, where's my guy, man? Shh, man. Yo, Billy, come on now. It's been years at this. When you gonna learn? You gonna learn today? Damn, 17. Nah, man, we expect 15s and hopefully single digits. Eventually, it'll find its low. The card is scarce. You know, you are starting to see some type of consolidation, so that worries me because I want lower prices. But you know, it's up pretty interesting, man. You know, the card continues to crash down, and I love the art, man. This chibi art, I think is one of the best ones out there, man. Just art wise, we have Necros of Trishula. Starlight Rare continues to crash down. This card was a 40 piece and 35 piece, and a 30 piece and a 25 piece. And lately now is an 18 piece. Quickly goes back up to 20s, but there is a 5 wall right there. So yeah, 43 listings. People have the option, if I'm not mistaken, between the quarter century and this one. This one, I think it's an alternate art. It looks nice. Bro, that art looks fire. Not $18 fire though. Need this cheaper, but it is a Starlight Rare. It is a Necros card. A lot of Necros hype. So definitely keep it in mind as it's at all-time lows, guys. Then we have Tempest Dragon, Ruler of Storm. This is just one example. You know, I could have easily pulled up all the other Dragon Rulers, but just goes to show what hype can do. What hype can do, guys. Card was 15s. You wake up one day, down over 3x. Right here, down over 3x. You know, in the 5, 6s. 60 listings, guys. It's crazy. Crazy. And at one point, this card was 18s pushing 20s. You know, and now it's just flash crashing, and it broke the previous swing low right here, pivot low at $9. And it didn't break it just by a little bit. It broke it hard, guys. So, I mean, there's not too many crazy like walls of China. You know, the 5-ofs are at 8s. So, you know, if you want this one at around $4, $5, $6, not bad, not bad. You take advantage of these bonanza QCSR flash crashes, because with a card like this, is not only like with the new Dragon Rulers, but also the boomers, man, wanting to play Dragon Ruler format, or, you know, playing this in hat, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I think they're at 1s. So just keep it in mind. $4, $5, $6, not bad. Much better than paying double digits or even close to 15s, you know, from those recent highs. Then we have 7 Tachyon. This card continues making all-time lows, guys. As you can see, 94 listings, almost about to be above 100 listings. Crazy to see, you know, that pan out right there. And yeah, look at it. 25 bones. Look at this wall of China, man. At 2750, 300 plus copies, 350 plus. Wow. Wow. What can I say? You know, we've been telling people to sell this card. Like, they're stepping down just at 40s and 30s, and now at 25. Like, when cards fall out of favor, they fall out of favor. You know, of course, this one, you're going to have a number, Galaxy Eyes and Photons and people that want the card, right? Intrinsically, but not, meta relevant to the point where like everyone was using this with Yugioh. So, you know, and if I would still have it, I'd be recycling my purchasing power. That's just me. You have DDDDD Swirl Slime, $5. Card was 20, consolidating, curving into the 5 bone mark with this wall of China. So 41 listings. If you need this card, no excuse to get it before it potentially becomes double digits the closer we get to the DDD support. So this card went parabolic, went crazy, went from $1.76 to 20s, now crashing back down to 5s. So you want to buy this massive retracement back down to the mean. There was ever a time, now is when you get exposure. We have Blaze, can't even talk. Blaze, Supreme Ruler of all dragons. This card used to be 14, 15s double top, and now it's a $2 card. That's crazy. $2 card. You have a place at 285s, and it goes into the 3s. So 80 listings, not bad. $15 card, come in 3s, down 5x. You take advantage of the secret rare, mid-max rarity. I get it, the Ultra came out, cheap, budget, but 3 bones, post tax, not bad for this secret rare, guys. Right here. The card is just good. It's generic rank 7, man. It's very, very good. One from your hand or field, and one your opponent controls. So it's very good, man. This card is really, really good. You know, so don't sleep on it. That's all I'm gonna say. At under 2s. I'm sorry, under 3s. Right there. Take advantage of that. I believe it's a great time to get exposure at, you know, almost all-time lows. But we're pretty close. As what? 236s, 33s, and yeah, this is where we're at, man. Essentially at all-time lows after double topping. So I'd be buying this card. You have Goblin Biker Doug Charger. This card recently, just 3 months ago, was 11 pushing 12s. Now it's 250s. Crazy, guys. After a couple of one-offs right here. The card does go back up to 4s, but it's crazy to see this in that way. 77 listings right here. Yeah, this card, Phantom Nightmare, I expect a reprint as well, but just showing it to show you guys how hype, you know, it's just always good to sell into hype. 90% of the time, you know, these cards end up crashing back down, you know, once they lose interest. So pretty interesting to see that one. We have, again, then we have Treasures of the Kings, the Man with the Mark, Anubis the Last Judge, and Apophis the Serpent. Insane to see these cards at crazy all-time lows. Just 3 months ago, these were 11s, and now they're $3.99. They're $2.34 right there. And the walls at 350s. You got 2 at 290s. So if there was ever a time that you wanted this deck, look at that, over 100 listings as a secret rare from Maze of the Master. No better time to get exposure to the deck than now. It's the cheapest it's ever been, and honestly, I think it's too cheap. If you ask me, you never know if the deck actually gets more support in the future. And as you can see, the Man with the Mark, same deal. Used to be 1150s, crashing down here to 3s and some change. And the walls are at 393s. Over 150 listings. Crazy. Anubis the Last Judge, you know, it's $4 right now. Quickly goes to 450s, where you see the next wall of China. So you don't want to go crazy with these, but if you want to build the deck core, not like no better time. It's literally the cheapest that it can be. This is the engine. I play Kashtira Odon. That's my current modern deck. Just for locals, and that's about it. You know, so you know, but this is too cheap. I just think the deck might get support in the future. Not that it has to, but hopefully it does down the line. And if it does, these cards that are cheap today will become money pretty quickly. And you even have the Trap, Apophis the Serpent as well. Recently was $7 3 months ago, and now it's 330s, down 50%. So you know, if you need these, you know, you come in around $10-11 post tax for a playset. Not bad at all for you guys to get exposure to this deck core. That is not bad, guys. Hey, we have Gear Town QCSR. This card was $20. How? This card was a 20 piece? Wait. First of all, this card was $5.75, $6. Then it went to 8s, and then it went to 20s, and now crashing back down. It says 14s, but we're back down to 687s. Wow. 35 listings, a couple 1s and 2s. And the card eventually does reach double digits at the bottom of the page. But the whole point is that this card is flash crashing. So if you're an Ancient Gear player and you want this quarter century secret rare, I know it's niche, man. Not too many people are Ancient Gear players, but if you are and you want this quarter century secret rare and you've been eyeing it and needing it as part of your collection, your deck, whatever, 687 is not bad compared to the fact that recently, very recently, as you know, May, it was a 20 piece, and now it's a 6-7 piece, down 3x. I'd take advantage of this if I'd want this card from Bonanza. Guys, if you made it this far out into the video, you guys continue to be straight MVPs. We gave you an hour today, man. If you guys stuck through, you guys are just amazing. Don't forget, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video on the way out, share this in one place in the group chat with some friends. It really does go a long way. Shout out to Rogue Hero, man. We had our collab yesterday. It's always fun bringing our Rogue Hero on. Hopefully we can bring him on next week as well, as we head into the biggest event of the year. It's gonna be pretty fun, so I look forward to that, man. You guys are amazing. You guys continue to be amazing. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to our live stream, guys, around the same time as always, 9-10 p.m. Eastern time, so we can, you know, just have some fun discussing the markets and, you know, everything that's going on. And I'm just grateful to be in this position, to do what I love, and it's all thanks to you guys watching and finding value in what I do. So guys, with that said, I just wanted to thank you so much for your time, for your support, and for your attention. Stay fresh.